Hey all, this is Mord welcoming you back to Sky Factory 4, Episode 2. Where we left off, we were getting ready to get back into Tinker's Construct. I think we'll actually look into Tinker's Complement. But before we do, I wanted to give a quick plug to the channel and just say if you haven't subscribed, please do. It helps grow the channel and helps provide more content and let us know you're looking. So that helps a lot, but that's enough on that. So what I want to do to get started is we're going to start by looking at our quest book. And if you take a look at the second tab, now that we've solved the dirt sapling problem, and we're back on track with that, we need to make where we can smelt metals. And another of the things that we talked about that we really didn't actually solve was the sapling issue. There are crooks in this version, and I haven't used them at all. But we can look at these crooks as well, as we need to use those to get more saplings from our harvests for trees. So we need to quickly look at those recipes too, and just make those, and then we'll start looking into Tinker's Construct as well. There are a bunch of different crooks. I haven't really looked into many of them, but we'll start with wood. It's the same as before, and stone is stone rods from Tinker's Construct. So when we get those ready, that'll also be there. Bones are going to be pretty simple because we can probably get those from bone blocks. I'll have to look at if we can reverse engineer those. Blaze rods and withered bone. So it looks to me like as we get further along, we'll be able to make more of these. But let's work. Let's do a wooden crook for now, so we can use that. Very simple to make. I've got everything I need for that right here, and that gives us an achievement. So might as well go for that. And that makes it where we'll get better with saplings. So when we get into like our jungle trees and stuff, we'll have that handy for those trees that have very few leaves, and we can get some good production from those. But that's enough on crooks. Let's move on to Tinker's Construct. We're going to have to build the basic tables for Tinker's Construct. So let me see if I can bring those up. Tinker's, and we'll do Construct. And I think that'll let us bring up the tables. Did I pass them? Yep, there they are. So we have all the basic stuff that we're going to have to make. A crafting station. We already have one. I'm going to make another one. But they're all really simple as far as they take very simple crafting ingredients to get done, like wood and blank patterns. Blank patterns are the sort of the crux for all of it. So we need to make a bunch of patterns, and patterns are really simple. It's two pieces of wood and two sticks. Most people know these, but I'm going to go ahead and make quite a few of those. So let's go ahead and make, I don't know, as many of those as we can. Get sticks. Then we got plenty of patterns, right? So then let's go ahead and make our basic tables and stuff out of them. Got that. Got that. We're also going to, so that's going to be stencil part builder. We're also going to need one that's based on a chest. That's the pattern chest. Oops, pattern chest. And I've got way too much stuff here. So I've got that. Let's think about what we're missing. We've got, crafting station. We're going to need that. Part chest to hold the parts. Tool station will be a crafting table with a pattern on top of it. So let's do both of those. Let's see what else we can do here. We can actually make room with that. And, oh yeah, crafting table with a pattern. And we are really low on space, but that's okay. We're going to take this, and we will take those and drop them. Great. Now we've got tons of these things. I'm going to just set up everything here for Tinker's Construct. So let's do a crafting station. And stencil table. These actually all will link together in the interface now. So it's a lot easier to sort of stick them in the right order, because it used to be that like you would want to put things together that would interface with each other, but now if they touch, they seem to all do it. So stencil table, tool station. You know what? Let's go ahead and put the pattern chest next to the stencil table. Part builder, tool station, and then we'll do tool forge down here when we can get that. The tool forge requires a little bit higher blocks. We're going to need to get seared stone, but that lets us do a lot of our repair stuff and some of our advanced tools. So that's everything we need to get started. Let's put the rest of our patterns in the stencil table. And what we have to do is we have to go through here and create all of these and store them in the pattern chest. So we'll just click one, create it, put it in the pattern chest. Click one, create it, put it in the pattern chest. And I'm going to do this and cut through, and then when these are all back, I'll be back. Okay, I've got them all done. As you can see, all the patterns are here. Now we can go, after we have our stencil table, we can go to our part builder. We can put our stencil or choose our patterns now that are over here. And then we're going to need some cobblestone, I think, to make our stone patterns, and we're going to really need to get casting set up to be able to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine some cobblestone to use as a material for all of our pattern things, and then we'll get into making some tools. So I'm going to use my cobble fountain here to do that. Let's also take a quick look at the recipes for the Tinker's Complement stuff. So we had talked about making a Tinker's Construct smeltery, but since we've done that before, and I think it's actually a better way to spend our time, especially since I could go off camera and prepare everything. First, I want to take a look at Tinker's Complement because it seems to be a faster way to get to basic melting of metals. And we even have on the Age of Enhancement, we have the parts here, right? So we're going to have to make basically a tank, a melter. We also could use a heater. The difference between the heater and the tank is if you want to do like classic Tinker's Construct where you use lava to melt them. You can also use solid fuels to melt them. It doesn't seem to be quite as warm. I haven't looked in that too much detail, but what you have to do to make it instead of the grout that we talked about last time is you have to use porcelain clay, which is a mixture of clay and bone meal, which we saw last episode. So all I have to do is take a clay and a bone meal, put it in here. I get 4 of these unfired porcelain from that. I already put some of those into the furnace, and I cooked up some porcelain bricks, which is just a direct cook of unfired porcelain. And I'm going to make more of that so I have enough to make what we want. But let's go ahead and get started looking at the recipes. We also need some glass, which is just cooking sand, which we had sand last time too. So I made a few pieces of that. So let's go ahead and get started on the basic recipes and get it set up. The first one we need to look at is, let's just look at complement. And we're going to bring up the porcelain melter, which is porcelain brick and glass. So that's fairly easy. So let's make the melter. Make sure I'm going to have enough room here. Let's go ahead and turn these into cobblestone blocks. Let's also make the tank so we can use lava. Let me make sure that's the right thing. I believe that we have to use the tank at the bottom. Yep. So we're going to do a tank. And we're also going to do a casting table. And we'll use this to be able to make casts. And we're also going to need to be able to make metal blocks. So I'm going to do a casting basin. And I also want to make a spout, because the spout's going to be used to, or actually 2 spouts. Why can't I see spouts? What am I doing wrong there? Porcelain. Faucet, not spouts. I used to do that last time too, I think. We're going to do 2 faucets. And we'll get a basic setup going that way. All right, so let's go ahead and set this over here. And I'm going to set my melter. Well, I think I need my tank on the bottom, my melter on top, and then we'll put the casting table on this side, we'll put the basin on this side, and then we're going to take our spouts, put them here, and put them here. So we're going to have to get a bucket and lava, and I'm going to fill this tank with lava. And then we can put our whatever metals that we get, which are going to be our iron ambers and our tin ambers and those are all going to be from the book here. So if you go back to your Sky Factory book, these are all your ambers, right? You're going to be able to make an iron amber, which we'll look at that doing the saplings for that when we get back. But I'm going to get this set up where we can. I'm going to get some cobblestone. I'm going to make some lava in this cauldron, and like we did last time, I'll set it up here, and we'll melt that down and use that as fuel for this. We're going to have to use clay buckets for the first fuel, and then we're going to make a bucket cast. And after we make our iron amber, we're going to turn that into an iron bucket, which will get it to where we can use infinite. We're probably only going to need one bucket of lava from the clay bucket, and then we'll be able to use infinite lava. Well, we'll have to make it, but we can use the bucket infinitely to move the lava around. So I'll be right back once I get my cobble stores built up a little bit, and we get some lava going. Okay, we're back. I moved the cauldron over. I mined a little bit of cobblestone. I put 4 pieces in and made some lava, and I made a bucket. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on a basic bucket cast. And they added a recipe where we can make our bucket cast out of a stone bucket, like this. And we're going to have to take some... Oh, I just threw my other bucket. Let's go ahead and put our fuel in. So we're going to get our bucket of lava, put it down here. So we've got some fuel, and then what we'll do is we'll take and melt. So there's a couple of ways to make casts. Usually you have to use gold or aluminum brass, but there is also the ability to make a clay bucket cast, which is a one-time use cast that allows us to create basically a one-time use cast to be able to make something like a bucket or one of these if we don't have gold yet, and it's going to take us a little bit to get to gold. So let's go ahead and get the cast ready, and then we're going to, because we're going to need to melt our clay in here first. So I don't know exactly how much we're going to need. I'll put 2 pieces in and see if it's enough. I think it is enough to make a cast. And then what we do is we take our bucket and we put it in our casting table, and we wait for our clay to melt. While we're doing that, let's take a look real quick at what we need for iron amber. Let's see what we can do. Iron amber. While we're waiting on that to melt, it looks like we can do coal, gravel, coal, sand, clay. Oh, okay. Do we not need? Oh, okay. We do iron acorn. Okay, so let's see what we need for an iron sapling. We're going to have to do, acacia, and we're going to have to do molten iron onto acacia, but we have to get iron to do that. So I think we're going to have to use our other stuff to make our first few pieces of iron. And then, so let's see if we can do that. I think I probably have everything for that in here, but I'm running low on resins, so I might have to grow some of these trees. Oops, I just had it up here. Let's take a quick look again. So we're going to need coal, gravel, clay, sand. Coal, gravel, clay, sand. Yeah, coal, gravel, clay, sand. Yes, so it looks like we're going to have to get a little bit of that built up, which I will do. But let's go ahead and get the cast made, and then we'll take a break where I grow that other stuff, then we'll come back and make the iron amber again. So I have 2 ingots full of clay in here. I'm going to pour it into this casting table. It's finishing. You notice the progress indicator going up. Now you should see the cast will create, and when we create it, this is going to disappear the first time we use it, unlike our gold or aluminum brass casts. But we can make a single bucket, so we've got to get to iron so we can do that. We also need to get an acacia sapling so we can do that. Let's take a quick look at the acacia sapling recipe and see what it takes to get there. We can craft it that way. We can also, in a cauldron, take an apple sapling, but we need apples for that. Apple sapling is going to be probably combining a sapling with an apple in a crafting table. I think that's how we do that. We'll have to look and see. So I will play around with that a little bit too. Let me... go ahead and grow the stuff for iron, and we'll at least go ahead and make the bucket, and then we'll work towards the apple sapling piece as well. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have enough of the resins just from harvesting the respective trees to make a few iron ambers, and I'm going to melt them down. So let's go ahead and do iron amber. I'm going to have to get the crafting table here. Iron amber. And I've got a few of those. That should be enough. I think there's like a few ingots in each of those. We've got more just in case we need them, but let's go ahead and put all 3 of those in. We'll melt them down. And we should at least be able to get the bucket from that. And let's start working towards the acacia sapling. So the way you get there, I've read a little bit just to see how we can get to apple saplings, and we need apple seeds. And apple seeds come from crushing tubs of crushing an apple. So we have to get an oak sapling, get some apples, crush them, and then grow them, and we can get apple saplings. So oak saplings are easy now that we have dirt saplings. We just wash off a dirt sapling, we get an oak sapling, and then we can just dance it. Right, and then that should be good. We're just hoping for apples. No apples yet. Let's dance. It looks like we might have our iron done as well. So once we get done with this round of dancing, we'll go do our bucket. Okay, so we take our clay bucket cast. We put that into the casting table and we use our spout to fill it. This is going to make a bucket, and once the bucket completes, it's going to actually destroy the cast, but that's okay because we have our iron bucket for now. There we go. The cast is gone, and we now have our iron bucket. We have 3 ingots of iron left. So, I don't know, I think we probably used 3 for that bucket, so we need to get... So we made 6 total. Let's get 3 more iron amber. Put them in there, and then we can make an iron block out of it and clean out everything, because we're going to have to make more casts. So we'll put these in there. Oops. There's that. And I'm going to go and grow an apple so we can do the acacia sapling. And we will go from there. So I'll be back once I get an apple. Okay, we got a couple apples. Let's try to crush one of them and see what happens. Got apple seeds. Oh yeah, the other one's in there. I'm going to keep that for now. Oh, I need an open fist for that. And let's go ahead and take our seeds and plant it. And what we have to do is we have to bone meal these because we can't dance these up. So I'm going to bone meal. I've got an apple sapling. There we go. Now let's see if we can get more apple saplings from the tree. I'm not real sure how this works. Is it going to be oak leaves or is it going to be apple leaves? Let's find out. Can we dance these up? I don't think we can. See, there's no green, so we're going to have to bone meal this as well. All right, and this is apple leaves. Let's go ahead and get our crook so we get good chances of actually getting more apple saplings. So let's take these in. Oops. Oops, I got to do it this way. I was holding the wrong key. And here, I'll make a couple crooks. Okay. Oh, I did get apple saplings, so that's good. And let's get this. Now we can take our apple sapling. And I think we take our apple sapling in water, but let's double check. Cauldrons. Apple sapling in water to go acacia. So we're going to do apple sapling, water. It's now an acacia sapling, which we have. Let's grow some acacia. Then we're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to take our crook. We're going to get more acacia saplings. We did. We got plenty. I think we can repair these, but I'm just going to get rid of them for now. These wooden ones I don't really care about. I just want to get saplings out of them, which we do have plenty of acacia. And there we go. And we'll also vein miner this. Done. Okay, so now we have plenty of acacia saplings. I'm going to drop one. Actually, you know what? This is a full block, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it into an iron block so I can get it out of the system, because I need a single, to make an iron sapling, I need a single ingot to put over it. Oh, that goes to dirt. But I want to do uses on that. So I hit U, and then we'll go to cauldrons there. Oh, you know what? It's going to be here. And casting table. And it takes 1 ingot of molten iron on the acacia sapling to make an iron sapling. So I want 1 ingot in there. Here's our iron block, which is almost done. We're going to have to melt it back, because I think that the iron amber gives us 2. But we can now convert this into ingots. It's a good trick if you need single ingots. And then we're going to put a single ingot in here, so we can clean this out, because what we're going to have to do next is we're going to have to take clay and make a few casts. So this has to be completely empty, or we're going to have to take the iron out of it into a tank, or be able to put it into something. So in this case, we used the casting basin to get all of it out of there, and then we're going to use this single ingot to make our iron sapling, which then we can go ahead and make our iron amber without having to use all of our other stuff, and come back to making a few of the parts. Because before I call this episode complete, I'd like to get a couple iron-headed tools made. I'm going to make an iron-headed pick, an iron-headed axe, maybe a mattock. I haven't decided yet. But we now have an ingot in there. There's our acacia sapling. Let's go ahead and pour. It is completing, and then we should have our iron sapling, which it's converting right now. You see it's changing. And we now have our iron sapling. So I'm going to grow one of these. Let's make sure we get more. Once it grows, we get, oh yeah, that was quick. Use our crook. Hopefully we get more saplings. We did. We got 10 of them. That's wonderful. And cut down this tree, which I think we're out of space. We need all that stuff. So let me get in here and get our wood. I'm going to have to get some better storage set up for this stuff too. I'm probably going to start getting some of the storage containers. I'll look into those too. We might take a quick sidebar to get that stuff created, but for now I'm going to grow a little more iron, and I'll be back. We'll then continue on with making tools, maybe making a little storage, and then we'll probably be wrapping up the episode at about 30 minutes. So we'll see you soon. Okay, let's take a quick moment to set up storage like I had talked about. One of the things that Age of Storage, we were talking about is the barrels, crates, drums, barrels, drums, storage, and more mod. And I think we're going to make a few of these crates just to hold the things like these stacks of wood that we've got, like a ton of oak in here, and maybe some saplings. I'll probably set a bunch of them up, but for now, let's just take the oak. That is jungle. Let's take the oak that we've got, leave a spot or two, and go ahead and make the crates just for that. And why is my caps lock on? There we go. So wooden crate is pretty simple. We need a chest for it. Let's go ahead and do that. And we're also going to need some more wood for it. And let's go ahead and make a wooden crate. And then we'll go ahead and inside that crate put our oak wood. And I'm trying to remember what mod that was like, because there was a mod before that was like that. I don't remember what the mod title was, but it was very similar, where you could have stacks of stuff in there, and it would show you how many you had, and then you'd click to get a stack out. Yep, it's the same as before. I don't remember what that mod was called, but I'm going to do the same thing off camera for all of these resins and all of these saplings, and probably just set up a line of them along here. So I have them handy. I'll put the saplings, the resins, and the acorns next to each other for the main tree types, so I can see what I have and take some of the pressure off this chest just to get these resins out of here, and just sort of surround this area around it, because one high doesn't seem to affect tree growth. So I'm going to do that probably around here just to have sort of storage all the way around off camera. Not going to show you the same process over and over again on that. So the last thing I wanted to get done was I want to get some let's see, I'm going to get some casts made. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to make some bone-handled, bone-binding, iron-headed pick, axe, and shovel. Probably not shovel yet, so probably just pick an axe. I can use axe as for cutting down trees. And there's actually one too. Let me see if we can make it. It might be a tool forge setting, but I think it's the comma that I might be able to use for shears. I'm not sure if I can use this for shearing leaves, but there might be a case where I need that. So I might make this as a third. I'm not real sure yet, but let's go ahead and make the 2 of them for now. So what we have to do is in the stencil table, we've already got it done. So in the part builder, let's take our cobblestone and we're going to take a pick head stone and we're going to take an axe head stone, and we're going to use these to make casts. We're going to put 4 pieces of clay in here, which we're going to need 1 more. This is one problem with the melter compared to smeltery is I can only put 3 of these in here, and I can't really expand it very easily. So I pretty much have to wait on it. Once that's done, we're going to... I think I need 2 for every cast, so I'm going to take and put the pick head in here, and... what we'll do is once that's done, we're going to pour that over it. We're going to get a one-time use cast for the pick and a one-time use cast for the axe. Let's put the last piece of clay in here. Make that. And then we're going to melt down some iron as well. But it's one of the things you'll notice is that with iron, we are not allowed to mix metals, which you can do in a smeltery. So there are a couple differences that I'm not a huge fan of. That's done. This is almost done. If we want to look at it, if we look at the iron, the pickaxe head, it doesn't really matter which one we look at, but let's go ahead and bring up, I need a metal one. Let me put iron in here. It takes 2 ingots to make an iron head, and then we're going to say an iron axe head is another 2 ingots. So we need 4 ingots total. So we'll do this. I need to double click off that so we don't get that. And one of the things you'll notice, I want to show you before we actually make the axe cast, is that it will not allow us, once this completes, to put iron in here. Or at least I'm pretty sure that it'll basically say it's incompatible. And it's not going to matter because we have to wait on it anyways. But you'll notice that in the melter, you can't have more than one metal. Where in Tinker's Construct in the smeltery, you can switch between them. You can like click on them and have the one at the bottom that you want to flow out. And it didn't allow it in my testing, so I don't think it's going to allow us here. See, resulting fluid is different than fluid in melter, so I can't do it until I get the clay out of here. And you have to do a lot of that shuffling around. So we're probably going to get to a smeltery soon, so we don't have to deal with that. But we're going to let the cast go. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my 4th ingot in here. And let's go ahead and pour the axe head. We should have 1 ingot left. When this goes through, it'll be a 2nd ingot. This is going to destroy this cast. But we have an iron axe head. And then what I want to make is I'm going to make a bone binding and a bone handle. So binding. And the handle is going to be the tool rod. And the reason I'm going with bone is it's got the higher durability. But this won't be a long-term type thing for us. Let's go ahead and make 2 of these because we're going to need 2 for our tools. Oops, and I don't need that. Put this back. Oh well, you know what, we can leave it there. And then we'll go to the tool station and we're going to make an axe. So we'll go like this, and we'll put our binding here, we'll put our axe head here, and that will make an iron hatchet. And that should level up quickly, assuming leveling still works the same way. It's been, you know, a couple mods since, or a couple releases since I've done Tinker's Construct, but I'm hoping while harvesting our trees, we'll be able to level this up, and then it'll get above level clumsy, and as it does, we'll get mods added to it, or at least mod slots. And now we've got our 2 ingots. Let's make a cast or a pickaxe head out of this pickaxe head cast, and that will also destroy the cast. But we'll get our pickaxe head. We're going to do the same thing. And we don't technically have to change the mode because it doesn't really like look, for example, I can put in the axe mode, I can put the pickaxe here, or you can't anymore. You used to be able to put the pickaxe there still and make it, but it looks like they've changed it. So we do have to go to pickaxe mode now and make an iron pickaxe. And this just gives us a little more durability since we made these out of bone. It's not a huge amount of difference, but it's enough that we can get a few more hits out of it before it breaks, and that's what I'm going for. Um, so that's pretty much that with the Tinker's Construct items. They're ready to go. Now I'm going to be able to go in here and mine much quicker to get our cobblestone. And we'll work our way up basically through the other metals, and we'll go from there. But that's going to give us and see how the experience is going up from 32 to 500. So that'll level up and give us modifiers on that weapon. It's going to be really nice. Hopefully it'll get stuff like auto repair and that kind of stuff on it. So that's basically how you do your Tinker's Construct, and we are going to be working our way up through our metals. Let's take a quick look at our quests before we call it done on this episode and just see where we are. So we've started our storage journey. We can also look at barrels. I think these are going to store fluids. If we need to store fluids, we may end up doing that. Maybe for some lava, I'm not sure. And then the drums and metal crates, I'm not sure what the differences are on those. And we might even get into some storage upgrades, but we won't need that just yet. I'm going to get some of that other storage done off camera. The next place that we're going to go is to work through these other metals now that we have our smelting ready. And we may go ahead and build a full smeltery as opposed to the melter, just because we're going to have a lot of metals that are competing, and that's going to be a pain to juggle, even though we may go over a little bit how to juggle that in the next episode. But that's going to be it for this episode. We'll see you guys in episode 3. Thanks again for your time. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.